let's take a look at the Bears' losses. Now, you mentioned something that I thought was like very interesting, and I agree with. How like expecting young guys to come into the fold and be the reason why this defense has success. How do you feel about the continuity on this defense now that we've lost a lot of pieces, like 6 guys?
I'm not mad at losing them because I feel like they were average or below average. But what are we replacing them with is the biggest question.
Yeah.
So um, I just don't see us getting like that marquee guy on the defensive line through the draft that becomes our best pass rusher.
Me either.
That's that's what I'm
As a
looking
rookie,
for. I think
it's
that's
hard.
the thing that gets us over the hump is, do we have that guy that can be dominant? Because we got a lot of B pluses or B minuses or C pluses around them, but we have nobody who is a all pro defensive end.
My thing is, I think Poles and Ben Johnson are kind of banging on the fact that this offense is going to be the number one offense in the NFL next year with all the guys stepping up and taking that next step. I think they're banking on like our offense is going to be fantastic. Caleb's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league next year. That's where their mind is. They're like, all right, defensively, that's going to be our focus in the draft. Let's try to do like replicate what we did offensively. Let's get younger. Let's get that defense. And Dennis Allen, we have a good defensive coordinator. I think he's going to get the most out of that group, regardless of who's out there. We saw last season, first in takeaways, there were a lot of holes. I don't think we're as good as that the numbers and the production said. We saw against the 49ers, they fucking embarrassed us. People are like, hey, you got rid of all your players. Why are we getting rid of all our players? Watch the 49ers game. Brock Purdy out there running around and shit. Hella
That
time.
shit was crazy.
It was. But I think, yeah, defensively, it's just a couple tuning things up. And 2027, we should have a lot of money to spend too, which that should be nice. But this year, offensively, we're taking that next step, hit out the park in the draft defensively, and I think we're cooking. But in your opinion, which player that the Bears let go do you think you'll miss the most, or the Bears will end up missing the most? Right now, Kevin Byard went to the Pats, Nashawn Wright to the Jets, Gardner Johnson to the Bills, Brisker to the Steelers, Edmonds to the Giants, and DJ Moore to the Bills. Which one do you think hurts the most?
I think as a fan, I would have liked to keep DJ.
Me too.
But I ain't losing no sleep over one of them motherfuckers. I'm losing sleep over the lack of acquisitions. I don't mind who you get rid of. One I miss the most is Drew Dahlman, if we really want to
Yeah,
answer the question. You feel me? Like, that one stung very bad.
because
And
instead
do
of
I think we
yeah,
upgraded that position? I don't necessarily think so.
I think we downgraded. I think we put a Band-Aid over it. I don't think we
Yeah.
upgrade. Yeah, I don't think we upgraded it. And if any, like that position kind of derailed free agency a little bit for us. You know what I mean? It kind of put a halt to what we were probably planning to do, because it's like, fuck, it caught everybody by surprise. Now we have a center position need. We're going to have to probably draft a center too. So it's like, this is a Pro Bowl center, you know? So
Gone at the
that
prime of his career.
that's what I forgot to throw in there. That is probably the biggest loss, to be honest, over
Yes,
over,
no
over the other
question.
guys. Um,
He's the tip of the spear.
DJ Moore would have been nice to keep too. I think, yeah, he just added another wrinkle to our offense. You really couldn't like focus on just one person. You know what I mean? It's just too many bodies, and it added a lot of creativity to our offense. In your opinion, though, which former Bear is going to ball out the most and have the most impact on their next team?
Well, you gotta give it to DJ because of the situation he's going into. He's going in the clear-cut number one. There's nobody better than the Doomsday on that team or Luther Burden. So it's like you get or Colston Loveland. So you
Yeah.
really are in a situation where
Focal
you
point of
could
the
really go
offense.
crazy. Yeah, you could really get busy. And Josh Allen also is a little bit more accurate present day than
Caleb.
Caleb.
And I think that offense needed him so much. I mean, the thing too, Brandon Bean and his head coach now, Joe Brady, were all in Carolina when DJ Moore is in Carolina. So Joe Brady coached DJ Moore before too. I know there's rumors about AJ Brown, all these other receivers making a trade for him. They wanted DJ Moore, and they showed it with what they gave up. And they're taking on his contract. The guaranteed money's crazy in 2028. So that is a huge loss for the Bears. But I think the Bills, they're gonna go federal, as we say, with DJ Moore in that offense, because it's just James Cook and Josh Allen, too reliant on those two. Now you got DJ Moore, another playmaker. Defensive side of the ball, losing, a lot of the secondary. Which one of those guys do you think steps up and balls out the most on their next team?
I like Kevin Byard in New England. I think he's got one strong year left. I don't think he'll put up the numbers he did this year, but
It was a
once that
1 year
speed
deal too.
goes,
Yeah.
I don't want to see him out there getting cooked.
Getting down like CJ Gardner Johnson.
You feel me? So they play a lot of man, so we'll see.
And it's nice that he's got Christian Gonzalez next, helping him out too. That's one of the best
That's a
corners in
good
the
point.
NFL. So I think that's a good spot for him. Think Pittsburgh with Jaquan Brisker. I think he'll be solid over there. I don't think he'll ever be that all-pro safety like I wanted him to be. But he's a good player. You know what I mean? And for the Bears defense, I feel like from their perspective, all right, we're not going to sign you to another contract if you're not an all-pro level guy. Jalen Johnson, they kind of made him wait a little bit, but they signed him to another contract because he's an all-pro corner. He proved it. He's a lockdown guy. He's been doing that forever. So, and they brought back Kyler Gordon, who I think was a better pickup from Poles out of him and Brisker. So hopefully Brisker plays well. Nashawn Wright, I don't have too much faith he's gonna be great in with the Jets.
Yeah, he got a very small deal where he's got to prove himself again.
I wouldn't have mind bringing him back though, to add some depth in the secondary because he can play a lot of spots. He was pretty good for us in moments. Um, but as like if you have holes in your secondary, I don't think he'll cover those holes up. But if you have a good secondary, he'll help elevate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think if you're polls, you're looking at it like, does this guy make us better or can we find better elsewhere? And I think the answer was clear.
Very clear.
And we get that second round pick, that rookie that was hurt all season. So hopefully,
Za Frazier. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully he can come in and compete.
Um, how do you trust the secondary to pick up off where they left from last season? With the turnovers being number one takeaways. I mean, you got Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson. You got good guys in this group still. Kobe Bryant, 4 interceptions, 7 interceptions the last 2 seasons after turning to a safety. So there's guys that could have a big season, but do you think there'll be a drop off, or you think they'll keep that play up?
Oh, I think they'll keep that play up. It might be a little bit of a drop off just because of how insane the turnovers were last year, but they came to a screeching halt towards the end of the year. So,
yeah,
that's one thing to think about. But I think overall, I'm excited for this new group of guys. I think we'll be able to put better a better roster out there defensively.
me too. You think you would move Kyler Gordon to safety?
It depends. I think you have to have a good nickel in today's NFL. So safety, nickel, they're interchangeable. I think he's a 3-down player regardless of where you put him at.
I think he would be a good safety, but the player he is as a nickel when he's fully healthy is more
Yeah, I like him
valuable.
around the line. I like him blitzing
Me too.
in the box. He's pretty solid against the run too, so I'd keep his ass where he's at.
I do like the idea of him and Kobe Bryant as the 2 safeties. That'd be phenomenal. Cam Lewis, maybe you throw him at nickel, but he's not as good as Kyler Gordon at nickel. It's an option, but I think, yeah, I'd keep him where he's at too. Another last idea I would throw to you about the Bears with the linebacker room getting more deeper, it looking a little better. Would you trade TJ Edwards? I know Harrison Graham, he was talking about trading TJ Edwards to the Cowboys. You save 6.2 mil. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. When does he recover from his injury? I thought that was pretty catastrophic.
He had that shit in the playoffs too. I think it was like a fractured leg or some shit. So he's
Yeah,
probably
he literally broke his shit.
he's gonna miss all of camp. Might miss the first couple weeks of the season too. So
Yeah, so I can't see too much trade value for him.
me either.
So I just,
Keep
if
him.
somebody gives you a deal, why not? But yeah, not not high on the priority list for polls.
D tackle, that should be the shit we're focused on
That
the
should be
most.
keeping him up at night.
But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.